Reality was built by the lowest bidder with the cheapest materials. Not only are the walls thin, but the plastering is knackered, and the whole thing predates damp proofing by 13 billion years. Things get in. So here's me on another bloody portal call out at 6 PM on a Friday. Priority summons from the duty oracle for King's Cross. If you can call a random London postcode appearing in your tea leaves a reasonable method of communication. So off I trot to an oft-forgotten graveyard behind the back of St Pancras. Mary Shelley's mum was buried here until she moved down to the coast. That's how it should work with graveyards. You put things in. When things start trying to get out, you have what we in the trade call a problem. This is my peculiar little economic niche. Equipped with a firm grounding in occult mechanics and a rather infirm career path, I become something of a specialist in sealing up the cracks they come in through. Occult sanitation. I hesitate to say investigation, that implies some level of glamour. Bell, book and candle is for the vampire hunters. I'm more hip waders, rubber gloves, and a big, heavy stick. The Bedlams used to do a roaring trade from overly inquisitive academics driven mad by just a glimpse of these unnameable horrors, poking their head round the door. Maybe our world's desensitised to horror nowadays, or maybe I wasn't too sane to begin with. But I've seen quite a few of them now, and I'm none the worse for wear. At least that's what the whispers tell me. Don't get me wrong, they'll still have your soul out if you blink. And they're getting weirder. A lot more of them popping through in the past few weeks. Enough to cause concern upstairs. The catalyst for our current predicament happened in Paris in the 1950s. A mob of novelists, avant-garde artists, intellectuals, lunatics and underage girls take it upon themselves to seek a fundamentally new awareness of cities. Guy Debord coins the term psychogeography to describe the influence the urban environment has on the human psyche, and reckons that by tapping into myriad collective experiences of the city, life itself can be transformed. Could it ever? A single unintentional summoning ritual in the Paris catacombs in the summer of 1957, a poetry slam gone wrong, if you will, and the thin meniscus between our prosaic little world and every nightmare plane of existence suddenly becomes full of more holes than a Camden piercing parlour. The whole idea caught on with a certain type of bloke, it's usually blokes, and London, 65 years later, is teeming with Debord's successors. Thanks to them, anywhere that people live and breathe is like a signal flare, but especially London. Oh, they have trendier names for it now. Schizocartography, cryptogeography, mythogeography. It all adds up to the same thing. Mobs of them walking imaginary lines across an out-of-date A to Z. Their unintentional ritual processions further eroding the membrane that keeps the extra-dimensional gribblies out. And the general population isn't helping either. The average citizen has little to no psychic insulation. You lot wander the streets all busy-like, rushing to your jobs, your homes, running to the things you love, running from the things you run from. That sort of thing, over time, tends to leave a psychic mark on the place. A massive neon billboard for every eldritch monstrosity, supernaturally co-located close enough on the metaphysical superhighway. Take the next exit for tasty snacks. Today's call-out has me stumped though. This isn't your average lone incursion. What we have here seems to be more of a distributed event. I'm calling in the consultant on this one, and sod tea leaves, I know she's got an old Nokia. When she finally picks up, she sounds distracted.
You're the third sanitation consultant I've spoken to in the last hour. It appears that the neural radiance fields from the Paris Poetry Slam in '57 are now resonating on multiple vergence points in London. The membrane was already thin enough here, incursions semi-routine, but the tempo is intensifying. Signs pointing to a crescendo of simultaneous breaches. Dibbock's in Dalston, Shambler in Chadwell, even a Mithraic breakout in the Walbrook. We need to get a handle on this now. I'm afraid you're looking at some serious overtime.
Yeah, I think the Shoggoth has bolted on that one. I'm gonna need a bigger plunger.